Andrea, mega bonus provided you with your first winner since returning to Hong Kong. He'll go to the well once again on Wednesday night. But before we look ahead, let's look back because he was pretty tough and tenacious and did it well.
He was, yeah. No, he was. It was great to get my first win on a horse like him. Fairly quickly, I only had my second meeting riding in Hong Kong, so it was good to get a winner on him. That day we were very lucky with the draw. We had a good draw. We managed to get a good pitch just in behind the pace, and everything worked out quite smoothly. So it was good to get his head in front again.
Talking of that draw this time in Andrea, obviously he's gone from 1 out to 10, which is sort of either end of the spectrum really. But you mentioned about pace and getting a lead into the race. There is plenty of it, so I guess he doesn't necessarily have to go forward, does he?
I agree. He's a quite a forward-going horse. But as we've seen the last day, he doesn't have to make the run-in. Obviously, we draw 10 tomorrow, which isn't ideal. Looks like there's going to be quite a lot of pace in the race. I think it all depends how he jumps and whatever he's comfortable, really. I don't think it's the sort of horse you want to put him on his head too much. But like I said, he's got plenty of gate speed if you want him to. So hopefully we'll be able to jump good and come across and trying to get pitches behind the pace somewhere.
The horse that you beat last time, Super Eagle Reoppose, is certainly not any better off at the weights with him. But your horse's sort of second up record is equally as good as his first up. So would you be confident that he perhaps can confirm that form?
It could do. Like, it's a sort of horse that I know he didn't win by far the last day, but I thought he won quite cosily at the end. He's a very straightforward horse. He's a hardy horse. He's got a very good record at the track, which you can't take that away from him. And he's a straightforward horse. Like I said, maybe we could have done with a better draw, but we have to work something out from that draw tomorrow.
Just finally, you mentioned after that win that obviously Ricky, he's been a supporter of yours, obviously only a short space of time since you've been in Hong Kong, but nice to continue this association as well.
Yeah, Ricky's been great. He's been really helpful from the minute that I've arrived in Hong Kong. Not just because he provided me with the first winner, but he's kept me busy with BRIAR trials, morning work, and he's given me plenty of rides, which I appreciate it a lot. And because you know when it's like when you come to different countries and places like this, you don't know what sort of support you're going to get. And I must say, Ricky's been very helpful.
And how much do you enjoy that aspect, Andrea? Obviously, back in the UK, it's slightly different. There aren't such things as BRIAR trials, or at least not on the same scale as this. But from a jockey's point of view, from someone who's obviously relatively fresh here, is that something that you enjoy being a part of, given that you get to sort of know these horses and get a good feel of them, etc.?
It definitely helps. It helps, like you said, to get to know the horses, especially these newer horses. And also, even if you're not riding a horse in the trial, you get a chance to look at others or whatever. If you ever ride a horse in the race, and at least with the website, you can look through his form and you can look at the BRIAR trials. You have an idea what sort of horse he is. So it definitely helps, and it keeps us busy anyway.
Hugh, TOGEPI is a horse that you've created a bit of an association with throughout the course of last season. New trainer this time in, but he was good when he last raced.
He was good. He always. He sort of showed that 1200 is probably his neat trip. He races like he would be best at 14, but given some really nice runs in transit over 14, he just couldn't get the job done. And towards the back end of the season, Tony Millard freshened him up and we saw the best of him. And he comes back now. I've ridden him a trial since he's transferred to Cody's yard, and I was impressed with his enthusiasm. He was quite sharp and on the ball, so he goes back to Happy Valley where he was victorious at the end of last year, and I'm sure he'll make his presence felt.
You sort of answered one of my questions there regarding trip, because obviously he has tried a few varying distances, and 12's maybe where they will settle. He wears a tongue tie. I'm not sure how much, if any, input you had on that, but is there ever an issue perhaps with his wind or his breathing, this guy?
No, not that I can think of. No, he was pretty clean-winded, and he's not a big horse, not a very strong horse, quite narrow, and sort of lacks a bit of strength. And his pattern is to sort of settle and come with a late finish. And like I said, we sort of got him to 1400, and he got up in the box seat and just couldn't get the job done. So I'm really excited about how much enthusiasm he was showing with me at the trial the other day. He got really on the bit and on the bridle, so I'm sure there'll be a little bit of an adjustment in attitude with the change of stable, and hopefully it's for the better. I'm sure it will be.
I'm sure, we certainly hope so. I guess we can never be too disappointed in these animals because they obviously treat us and do plenty for us. But throughout last season, was he just getting that little bit frustrating, possibly?
Well, maybe not so much for me as the punters, because he was going out as a short favourite a few times. But look, he's a very honest horse, and even though he couldn't get the job done over that longer distance, you could feel the effort was there. So once the horses are trying, there's not much more you can ask of them, and that's that's one of his attributes. He does give his all. He wants to help you. He wants to do his best for you, and I think he'll have a forward showing first up.
Talking of favourites, just away from TOGEPI, you trialled Russian Emperor this morning. He's obviously a horse that has been a wonderful servant to you and Douglas more so. How did he trial you?
I wouldn't say a wonderful servant. I've only ridden him there twice, but I hopped on him at the
Group 1.
I hopped on him at the right time, and yeah, he does have a soft spot in my heart. But he was fresh and bouncy this morning. You know, he's an older horse, and the reality is we're not going to see him improve on what he's already achieved. But if he can refine that form, he's going to run consistently over that 1.5 mile trip, or consistently well. So look, today was just a starting point, but he was enthusiastic. He jumped and travelled midfield. Fortunately, it wasn't a fast run 1,000-metre trial, so he was able to be comfortable mid-trial. When the speed went on, he got left behind, which was expected. But I was satisfied with the way his temperament was, his attitude, and his movement was pretty good. You know, it's never going to be 1,000,000%, but as he stretches up over further and gets his fitness levels up, he's going to start to free up a bit in his action as well.
Keagan, Lucky 8 is your ride in race 8 on Wednesday night. A horse that you don't know a great deal about, but you have had a sit on him in a trial. What kind of feel did he give you on that morning?
Yeah, it gave me a really nice feel. He was obviously still big in the trial and in need of it a little bit, so he's had a gallop in between. He's in good form, and with a bit of luck from a awkward barrier, hopefully we can get a bit halfway back, and you'll see him doing his best work late.
The trial looked good. Talk us through that. I mean, once you sort of gave him a bit of a squeeze and asked him to quicken, he did hit the line strong, didn't he?
Yeah, look, he broke out pretty well, and I got into a good position, and I sort of had to take back a little bit because they were going too hard, and I found myself in a little bit of a pocket, but once he got out, he really finished off his trial well.
You would have obviously done your due diligence and had a look at the form, I'm sure, already. He's a horse that does go well fresh, so that certainly bodes well for him first up this Wednesday night.
Yeah, it holds him in good stead for his first run. He enjoys the course and distance, and in a competitive field, but he's probably one with the strongest form.
You mentioned the draw, of course. What have you made of Happy Valley so far? Are you able to compare it to anywhere in South Africa in regards to sort of the nature and the draw bias, if you will?
No, look, not really. The Happy Valley is really tight, and you got to pretty much break well and be on your bike first. And he's a horse with speed, so he'll help me out that first bit, and he'll probably put me in a good position and tell me where he's happy.
We're only fresh into the season, Keagan, but you and Ricky, you've already teamed up on a number of occasions as well. So it's great to get the support from Ricky, and obviously long may that continue, and nice to get on a nice horse for him as well.
Yeah, thank you. Ricky's been very good when I first got here. He put me on a couple at work, and obviously giving me a lot of support on the racetrack. So hopefully we can break the duck for him.
How much are you enjoying it, or the whole experience, now that obviously you're bedded into Hong Kong, Keagan? Are you settled in now, and things are sort of going along quite nicely for you?
Yeah, fully settled in, getting into the swing of things, still trying to figure out a few things, but we're getting there and enjoying it very much. Obviously, with the small size of the field, not getting as many rides, but it'll pick up.
Lyle's Sweet BRIAR is a horse that I guess a few people are looking forward to seeing, but more so, you're probably looking forward to riding him again.
Yeah, of course I am. I'm also one of those people looking forward to seeing how he gets around Happy Valley. Of course, we were pleased with the trial, and hence why we've decided to take up the opportunity to run him there. Francis Loy and the team have made no secret that they're sort of bottlenecking at the moment with horses in the Class 3 12s and 1400s, so they need to try some new things, and that's led us to giving him a crack at Happy Valley.
And I guess now that you've said that, obviously quite a strategic move. How much of an input did you have into that? Obviously, you do know the horse very well.
Yeah, I mean, normally you wouldn't want to change a winning formula, but yeah, he's up into Class 3 with a lightweight, first run of the season, so I think it's a good time to try something new. And yeah, I had no influence on deciding to go there, but then after the trial I could give a bit of confidence that he got round comfortably. And we know races is different to a trial, but I think it was a good indication that he should go around okay.
His performance last time when winning, I thought he was quite tough. Were you impressed with the way he knuckled down that day?
Yeah, I think he's a horse that he only does as much as he has to. He sort of takes a bit of riding, but he's got a good a good kick on him, and then if he's in front for too long, he sort of wonders. And I think just with a little bit of a push over the last 50, it got him to lift his game again towards the end. So I wouldn't say that he was running out of fuel, but he was hard pressed, and he showed a bit of spirit, which is it's always a good trait of a nice type.
His 2 wins, Lyle, have come on good to firm ground. Is he that sort of top of the ground horse? I know you've ridden him on soft as well. Did he give you the feel of a horse that has improved for maybe that slightly quicker surface?
Not necessarily. I think he would. I think he would definitely take to a bit of sting up the ground too. Nice strong horse, and he's pretty uncomplicated. So I don't think there's too many chinks in his armour in that respect.
Very exciting horse. Actually, his first win, the second, third, fourth, and sixth have all won since. So his form's certainly strong in the book too.
Yeah, form's good. He'll make the step up in this grade, whether it's now over the 12 at Happy Valley or further at Charlton. I'm not too sure, but he's got the ability to progress a bit more too.